All right. And it does says we're live now. Again, let me do my I don't okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition, a supplemental video of Collect All Monsters. But I'm doing the producing and everything. So let me just check my mobile device, make sure that we're on the up and up and all that good stuff. And all that stuff. So hold on. Up and up. The good stuff. Okay. Stuff. Hold on. Okay. I think we're good. All right. Thank you for everybody for being here for another edition of Collect All Monsters, a supplemental video celebrating the DADZILLAs in our fandom. Yes. As you all know, that Father's Day is coming up real soon. Next weekend, as a matter of fact. So I wanted to get together with a few awesome dads in our fandom and talk about our experiences being dads in this fandom and how we share that love and passion with our own kids. Also, we're here to celebrate the various different offsprings of Godzilla himself. You know, he has had lots of children. I don't mean that in a bad way. He has lots of different children. But you know what? We're here to have a good show, and thank you so much, everybody, for being here for this show. A lot going on this month. Kaiju Brooklyn was just last weekend. Awesome show that AJ was there. I'm sure he'll give us a little rundown about that. Also, this is Pride Month. Got to give a shout out to David and everybody for Pride Month or whatever. Our next episode of Collect All Monsters is next weekend. Monster with Attitude is doing a whole bunch of interviews in lead up to G-Fest with vendors from G-Fest. They're also going to be talking about Frankenstein Conquers the World in a couple of weeks. Also, Jaws celebrates 50 years this month.
Jaws 1, not Jaws 2. Okay.
Yeah. Oh boy.
You mean Jaws 4?
Oh my God.
Technically, it's a 50 year of the entire franchise, even Jaws 4, but we ain't got to go into that. But let me do my Steve Harvey thing and introduce my awesome co-host, my awesome fellow DADZILLAs here in this group. First and foremost, one of the front runners of Monster with Attitude. Yes, the guy with the epic beard, at least one of the guys with the epic beard. You know him, you love him, the one and the only Eric Stolp. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I feel honored and privileged to be on here with this group of guys. All you guys are just tremendous people in general and just in the community. So I'm excited to talk about this stuff and something that kind of hits home for all of us, honestly. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
And next on the list, wait a minute, hold on. I can't believe this. Hold on, I got to do something. Do my eyes deceive me?
Oh boy.
Do my eyes deceive me? Hold on. I gotta do something. Hold on. I gotta make sure it's real. Hold on.
Stay on the big screen.
No, this is generated by ChatGPT. It's not real.
But hold on.
Yes,
I gotta do something.
yes.
I gotta do something. Say his name and he appears. I believe in AJ. I believe in AJ.
Oh,
Is that the one and the only from Kaiju Live, the one and the only AJ Russo? Is that you?
That's me. Thank you so much, Leslie. I'm here with Abby. Say hi, Abs. And it's been a long time since I've been on stream. Had a lot of health issues going on. I'll get into it a little later. I don't want to bore everybody yet, but feeling good now and happy. This is like my first appearance on a stream in like a year, I think.
Yay!
Something like that. So thank you so much for having me. And the DADZILLA show is the perfect show to be back. So can't wait to be a part of this and keep it going.
Again, it's been a minute, and thank you so much for being here, and especially that you brought your better half right there, the one and only awesome Abby. Thank you so much for being here, sweetie. Really do appreciate it. You and your King Caesar 11 behind. Thank you so much for being here. All right, next on the list, let's go with another front runner from the awesome Monster with Attitude show. Yes, the one who loves hiatuses, the one and the only Adrian Settle. What's going on, Adrian?
Got him
What's
laughing.
up, Leslie? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Like Leslie said, I love by Aegis, but my wallet is still empty. It's gonna be more empty after B-Fest. So, but glad to be here for all these amazing men, especially with it also being men's mental health month as well. So glad to be able to hang out with all y'all and talk about what we love all the time.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Next on the list, you've seen his face a few times before here on Collect All Monsters, but you also know him well from the awesome YouTube channel known as The Monster Report, the one and the only Nick Adam Bowling. How you doing, Nicholas? What's going on?
Doing great. Glad to be here with the dads. And I say this all the time. I wouldn't trade being a dad for anything. My kids are part of my YouTube channel. I love involving them in the production of it and reviewing figures, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And they just, they love doing this stuff. They love Kaiju. And I love being on Collect All Monsters here with you guys. And my beard is less epic than you guys. Sorry. Yeah. Trim it. Summertime.
Well, again, I appreciate all y'all for being here. We were scheduled to have a couple more people coming, and I'm sure they will at some point. So in the meantime, until they show up, we're going to just keep the party train rolling for y'all. And again, this is for all the fathers out there for Father's Day. And it's funny, I haven't really done a stream like this before, but I figured that, it was high time to celebrate the fathers out there. Because a lot of times, with all due respect to the mothers out there, and when it comes to Mother's Day and Father's Day, obviously a bigger deal is put towards Mother's Day, and rightfully so, because there are a lot of mothers out there that do right by their kids. They keep a job, and especially in this day and age where I wouldn't trust a kid with a daggone cell phone, but they do a great job of raising our kids. And it's like, it's no different than a frontline worker. Like, y'all are that important. But I do believe that the fathers sometimes, when it comes to Father's Day, we're considered like the less celebrated holiday between the two. It's like the mothers, they get the flowers, the dinner, the multiple cards, and all that good stuff. Meanwhile, the dads get socks and beef jerky and coupons to IHOP and stuff like that. So we want to I wanted to celebrate my fellow dads in our fandom, being Godzilla fans, being in this awesome fandom, and we have shared that fandom with our kids. So I thought that was a good story to talk about, especially in honor of Father's Day coming up. So again, thank you so much for being here, kicking off some cool content for y'all leading into G-Fest next month. Again, our fandom is on fire right now with so much stuff got going on. It's so great to have AJ Russo back after a long hiatus. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. So I have a few questions, and then we're going to show off some collectibles pertaining to those questions. You know how we do. But you know what? Before we go into the Godzilla part, let me circle back to Josh just for a little bit. Round the room real fast. Two questions. All right, since Josh is coming up on his 50th anniversary, when did it come out? June 20th or something, 1975?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Point blank, what is your favorite scene in Jaws? If you had to, and you know what? Don't do what John Ruffin does and do like 2 or 3 things. No, just do one. What is that one favorite scene from Jaws that is your favorite? All right, Eric, go first.
Jeez, I haven't seen this movie in like a minute, man. One of the things that I think stands out to me the most is in the first one when he has the barrels stuck to him with the spears. I think that's just epic because they're like, oh yeah, he can't go down with 3, not 3 of them, and he goes down. I was like, oh my god, he went down. He said he couldn't, but he did. Kind of thing. So I thought that was super epic. And then they added the 4th one. They're like, no way. And he goes down for at least a split second, but then comes back up. So I'd have to say that's probably one of the most impactful moments in that movie.
What about you, AJ?
And this is just from the first Jaws, right? Not
the first Jaws.
All right.
Don't start. Don't start with that.
I would have to say it's probably when the sun gets like frozen, and then you got that camera shot of the going to oh my god,
Chief Brody?
Yeah, the camera shot where it like zooms in and everything, and all that panic. to me as a kid, that always just kind of like really stood out. As an adult, the one thing that I'm really interested in is that like deleted scene that pops up every now and then where I don't know if you guys have heard about it, where apparently they had a scene where Jaws like flat out eats the kid, like the first kid that it gets.
I've seen that.
And,
It bites down on top of him. It bites down on top of him.
They had to cut that out because it was just. But like, there's some screenshots of it. So even though it wasn't in the movie, every time I see that screenshot pop up, I'm like, man, this movie could have been brutal. But yeah, I always just loved the animatronic shark, Bruce. It was just so cool. And yeah, that movie made me never, like, even going in my swimming pool as a kid, I was like, there's a chance if I'm alone, there's a shark in my pool. I don't know. I don't like it. You know, those unrealistic thoughts as a kid, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, huge shout out to Jaws for making me terrified of the water for a very, very long time.
You were terrified of the water?
Oh, you haven't watched Jaws yet. Don't worry. What are you, 7? Yeah, you're 7 now. So we'll introduce you to Jaws. Why not?
It will change you.
You're grown enough.
Yeah, right. You're gonna learn today. You will learn what fear is.
All right, Adrian, what about you? What's your favorite moment from Jaws?
So mine is a little out there actually. It's when everybody's trying to run back on the beach. Everybody thinks, "Oh, it's safe. There ain't no shark out there no more. We got it." Blah 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 blah. And all of a sudden, you just see old boy just freaking out, seeing Bruce back in the water, and everybody on the beach is just freaking out, like, "Oh my god!" It really made the seasons of movies show like, okay, yeah, this is we need to stop messing around and stop trying to make our money by sending people back to the beach too early. Like, we need to get this handled.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're the mayor. The mayor was like, "Nah, we're good. 4th of July or whatever it was."
No, we ain't shutting down nothing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the mayor was like, "Nah, shark. There's no shark."
What about you, Nick? Your favorite moment from Jaws?
Yeah, love Jaws. It is the 20th of June. You're right about that. That's the anniversary. So coming up.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome to Amity. And so I go back to this one all the time. Is the "Show Me the Way to Go Home," singing together and sharing the scars. You know, they're all just being guys. One of them's a dad, so I guess that kind of connects to the Father's Day thing. But you know, they're all like, you know, right here, she broke my heart. You know, and they're just drinking and sharing these stories together. You know, and then all of a sudden, the whole scene erupts into, "Oh yeah, this is a shark movie again." And it's just like this cool scene that's, you know, it could be a throwaway scene, but it's a character development. You get into their heads and their kind of backgrounds, and Spielberg's good about, you know, doing that kind of thing, giving you this little expectation and then just like slamming something into the boat and crashing into it. And there's Jaws, there's the shark. And so, yeah, that is one of my favorite scenes. And I'm always like, yeah, I got this scar here. Yeah. 12 years old was, it was a surgery, had a tumor removed. Nothing really special. Yeah, it's like knee scars. You know, when I fell off the monkey bars in the playground. Yeah, 4 stitches. Can you believe that?
Let's see. For me, it would have to be, and again, I love this movie. I mean, granted, I do love Jaws 2 more, but this, I'm sorry. I do. I can't help it. I love Jaws 2 more, but the scene from Jaws is my favorite. Back then, when I was a kid, when I first watched it, if you asked me that question, I'd probably say something involving seeing the shark. But now that I'm an adult and I realize the beauty of that film is really not seeing the shark and seeing the shark being implied in certain scenes. It's the opening when Chrissy gets killed. Like that moment, like, whoa. Like, even now when I watch it, it is disturbing. Now, I'm about to say something controversial, but then again, that's just me. But you know that. I kind of believe that she deserved what happened to her. Now, it's one thing if you want to go swimming at night by yourself in like 3 feet of water just to get your body wet. That's one thing. But when you're out there with the buoys in the shipping lanes, you're basically asking for something to come and eat you up. I'm just saying, like she was out there with the buoys. She was out there with the ships. Like,
I've never thought about that. Like, why was she? What was she doing? Like,
She's under the influence. What you mean?
Yeah, she was doing TikTok before there was TikTok, man. That's what she was trying to do.
You know what? I realized that recently when I started when I watched it. You know, it's like I'm sitting there like, and I'm sitting there with Sandra. I'm like, Sandra, why is she out there that far? And Sandra's like, and, you know, and it's like I thought about it. I was like, why is she out there? But again, just the visual of not seeing the shark, seeing her just pulled under. And actually, again, I think Samson talked about this when Monster Attitude did their Raw Talk show last week. He kind of alluded to it. But I did read excerpts of the book. And in the book, it's actually more graphic and gruesome to what happens to Chrissy. What happens when that first tug and she goes under and she and she has a look on her, the incredulous look on her face, like she don't know what happened. In the book, when she gets tugged down the first time, she reaches down to try and figure her leg like we normally do if something happens, right? But all she feels is like shredded flesh and like the nub of her bone. Then she realizes like, oh crap. Then blood started rising up. That's when the shark comes for her again. So it's really more graphic. So every time I see the scene now, I think about the book and I'm like, yeah, that was horrible. But yeah, that is my favorite scene. I know it's not like a morbid thing to say, quite frankly, but that is my favorite scene from Jaws. Now, second thing before we go into the Godzilla stuff, we're going to incorporate the sequels in this next one. So you have to rank these death scenes from your least favorite to your most favorite. Okay, here are the death scenes. Jaws, Alice Kentner, the boy that gets taken off the raft, whatever. In Jaws 2, Eddie, the boyfriend with the curly hair that gets rammed into the boat and then gets sucked down at the last minute. Jaws 3, I think the Australian guy, Fitzroy, the guy that gets crushed, where you see the guy getting eaten inside the shark's mouth, right? And Sean from Jaws 4. Now, say what you will about Jaws 4, but honestly, let's admit, Sean's death was probably the best one in the movie, and that's not really saying much. So, rank those deaths. Alice Kentner, the boyfriend of Tina in the red boat, Fitzroy getting crushed by Jaws himself, or herself, I should say, or Sean from Jaws 4. All right, Eric, rank them from your least favorite to your most favorite.
I would probably say, oh man, come on. I'll probably just say 1, 2, and 3. How you ordered them is probably how I would order them. Like there's no difference for me. Like how you ordered them, that's how I'm going to go with them. That's how I feel that's least to kind of best kind of thing. So
that was cheap, but okay, we'll take it.
I'm sorry, man. It was perfect how you lined them up. I just knocked them down.
Yeah. Let's see what AJ has to say. AJ, how would you rank them?
Before I get into the ranking, I do want to say a huge shout out to John Williams for the score of Jaws, because honestly, without the score, I don't think that movie's as impactful as it is.
Absolutely.
Especially like the opening of that movie sets the tone for the entire thing. So if I had to rank them from worst to best, I'd probably go 4, 3, 1, and 2. I always loved that death scene in the second one with the boyfriend. It just, because you see the shark a lot in that one. That one was probably one of my favorites. Even though I refuse to admit Jaws 2 is better than Jaws 1, because it isn't. That still might be one of the best scenes for me.
All right, A, what you got?
So, unfortunately, I'd pull Samson, because actually my first time watching Jaws was with Samson last year when he watched on his Twitch channel. That was my first time watching Jaws. So I actually need to visit the 2, 3, and 4. So I can't answer this question because I'm only from the first Jaws.
See you, Leslie.
See, and he thought my answer was lame, man.
At least I'm honest. At least I'm honest, okay? At least I'm honest.
You know,
Sam's had a similar
I didn't know
reaction.
Jaws held such a special place in Leslie's heart, man.
Right?
Yeah, this is way more Jaws talk than I was expecting.
Studied.
oh my, Abby, thank God you're here, baby. That's all I got to say. Thank God you're here.
You saved Adrian.
Okay. Oh well. On that note, Adrian, I still love you. You're my little brother. I still love you, but it's been tested right now.
I know.
Adrian, if we ever meet at some con or whatever, I'll bring the Jaws collection. We'll watch it together. And you can answer Leslie's question. But Leslie, was it favorite or like best death? Because like that might change my order a little.
In terms of how what's your favorite? Like from your least favorite to your most favorite?
Okay, well, I was gonna say, yeah, the most favorite, I would say, is the deserved one because I can't stand Jaws 3D. I think it's terrible. I just think, that one. I'll put that as number one. So I'll go 3, 4, 2, 1 because I know Alex has got the very most impactful death. Even the way it is in the movie, I was just like, man, that hits you. But in that case, it's my least favorite because I don't want to see that happen. I want to see it almost get to the death scene of a kid. And then it's like, oh, it's okay. It didn't happen. Everyone's safe. Just the grownups are, going to get the shark attack or whatever, but it is impactful. I will say that one. And of course, the mother, coming to Roy Scheider's character Brody later and having her scene, that was adding to all of what was happening in the moment there. So yeah, brilliantly done by Steven Spielberg. But again, that makes it my least favorite because I don't want to see that happen. But yes, the Jaws films, they're entertaining, they're fun. The first one still, the best one of all, and then you're right, AJ, John Williams, everything about that makes that film iconic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leslie.
Yeah,
That's true.
Let's see. I'm gonna go Will Swift with it. It'll be 4, then 1, then 3, then 2. Jaws 3, I know is problematic. I think the concept behind Jaws 3 was actually really good. I just think a shark trapped in SeaWorld, like that's a cool concept. It's just the special effects didn't really execute that idea real well. But the boy in Jaws 2. And again, like what AJ said, you do see a shark a lot in that movie, but it's funny that scene you don't really see it that much, especially when he's attacking the kid. All you see is the kid just ram into the boat, and then it's like you see him climbing the boat, and he's trying his hardest to just not let go, but the shark is just too strong. And it's like I'm sitting there like, Tina, put your hand out, because she was like,
Oh, yeah.
honestly, at the same time, I don't blame her because it's like, let's just say she did stick her hand out. Considering how strong the shark was, more likely once he went down, she would have went down too. But but imagine that, seeing your boyfriend and your wife killed in front of you and you can't do anything about it. That right there is frightening,
Yeah.
So that's what
the first rose from Titanic.
Yeah, pretty much. So
Yeah.
So but again, Jaws celebrating. Yeah.
Get off my door.
Yeah. But again, Jaws celebrating 50 years. I can't believe this movie's been around for 50 years. It's an awesome film. Can't wait for it to pop up in theaters. I think it's coming back in theaters for like a limited engagement in August. Can't wait to see that. But you know what? We're not here to talk about Jaws. We're here to talk about us being fathers in this fandom, as well as talk about the various offsprings of Godzilla. Now, before we go into that, let me highlight a few comments. We got like 18 people watching.
Can I make one more point about Jaws before we go?
Go for it.
Since we're talking about Jaws, I don't know if you guys saw at Monsterpalooza. Did you guys see the James Groman Mondo Jaws figure coming out?
Yes, dude.
I had it like that is an absolute must-have. I don't think they really gave it a full photo. Like there were a couple photos of it, but man, a mighty need. Since we're on the topic of Jaws, I figured we gotta. I don't know, Leslie, if you can find a picture of it to pop it up, but if you're a Jaws fan, I think that's gonna be a must-have in your collection.
Yeah, we did see that. As a matter of fact, check out Monster with Attitude Raw Talk, their most recent one last week. They got footage and pictures of that thing, so please check it out there. So with that being said, let me go through a couple of comments before we go into the Godzilla side of this discussion. Let's see, Fancy Cats. Thank you so much for being here. Ready for all the dad balls on the show today. Nothing like a daddy talk about kaiju daddies. Okay. Let's see, Nathaniel Plummer, King Kong, 1986 is the best kaiju dad ever. Okay. He defended helpless Lady Kong, who was in labor, against an army whose leader wanted them dead and their unborn son. Thanks to his life sacrifice, his lives. That's true, but I mean, let's be honest, we're not really sure Kong was the father. She might have been knocked up before Kong came into the picture. I'm just saying. Let's see, Michael Hang, thank you so much for being here. Let's see, Ray2D2. What's up, man? Tim Bartos. How you doing? Helmy. How you doing, Helmy?
Helmy, what's up, man?
All right, we got Jim Gala. Let's see. AJ, your better half. Miss Kelly Russo.
Kelly.
What's going on? Remember, Kelly, no beef jerky or IHOP coupons for Father's Day this year. Just
or stocks.
What's up, Oscar? What's going on? Representing the NWA as well. Okay, again, Nathaniel with the need a bigger boat. So thank you so much for being here. All right. Let's see. Let me just rearrange this back up again to where we had it before. Okay, let me just introduce this. All right, Eric, we're gonna start the slideshow, the Godzilla stuff. All right, and we can just talk as these images go over, because again, this is going towards the Godzilla dad portion of the show. And again, Godzilla has had many various offsprings over the years, whether it's Mania, Baby Godzilla, Little Godzilla Jr., Final Wars Mania. Godzuki, if you want to count him, if you want to count the Baby Zillas from the 98 film, don't cancel me. But, you know, Godzilla has had his share of being the dad. I know a lot of people don't really like that when it came to the Showa series, that they don't like, well, they don't like Mania, obviously, but they don't like that Godzilla was made into a dad. But honestly, that's one of the main reasons why I actually love the Showa series, because we see Godzilla and be involved in storylines that you wouldn't think that he could pull it off, but he does. Like, he can go from being a serious metaphor in one film to a villain in another film, to an anti-hero, to a force of nature, to a superhero, or he could just be a dad. And I think he pulls it off really, really well. Not too many actors can pull that off, but Godzilla does. So with that being said, let's go to the first question around the room real fast. What is your favorite Godzilla offspring? Go, Eric.
So I am actually gonna go with the Gemstone Godzilla, aka Godzilla Jr. grown up. Okay. I think technically that is part of canon. It is part of the Toho lore, because obviously Toho let Gemstone make that short, and in the beginning of the very first one, they alluded to basically it being Junior after the original Godzilla died in Destroya. So I absolutely love that look of Gemstone. He's ferocious, he's mean, he's just a different take on him, but I love what he looks like. He's different than what his dad was, a different atomic breath and powers. Like, I love that. So that I'm gonna go with Gemstone Godzilla.
What about you, AJ?
Growing up, I'm definitely gonna go with Baby Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. Just because, as a kid growing up, loving Godzilla, loving dinosaurs, the fact that like they basically had a raptor-sized Godzilla just like hanging out in their own little like park, basically, and like playing with them, I was like, that's the job that I want. I want that job. So I just always love, and then that one has the most growth. Obviously, goes from Baby to Little to Junior, and now Gemstone, which was an awesome surprise. So for me, I've always loved the Heisei iteration of Junior or Minya or whatever name we want, Baby Godzilla.
Yeah.
But specifically Baby Godzilla, I don't know. I've always loved it. You know, when Dad and I were collecting, you know, the Forever set had the Baby Godzilla with the better paint job, and that was like, you know, I just love that figure because again, it's more of a dinosaur. So yeah, baby for me.
Go, Adrian.
I would have to say Godzilla Jr., especially with my first time watching Godzilla versus Destroyer. Of course, leading up to this, revealing Jr. is still alive. They think he's dead, and I better find him, things that nature. People going crazy, but then Godzilla Jr. just appears, and you can see he's going to be his dad. And there's something special about that very first moment when we see Godzilla Jr. again when he first comes out the ocean. It's just magical for me, and I've loved it ever since I watched Godzilla vs. Destroyer.
Nick.
Yeah,
All right.
There he is.
All right. I appreciate Eric being different, you know, of all things. I didn't even think about the Gemstone Godzilla. That was a good choice. But I gotta go Showa. I'm Showa Minya, son of Godzilla, little man Machan. Okay, so yeah, I watched the heck out of the VHS tape, kept it forever, and yeah, this is the one that has the special place in my heart from my childhood. Even, you know, the fact that he was in, you know, All Monsters Attack talking, and you know, it was a lot cringy, but that was why, you know, I just keep going back to those films, and they've got the rewatchability for me. I like watching these with my kids, so a lot of entertainment value in the Showa Minya. Leslie,
Let's see. My favorite. I actually love Little Godzilla from '94. My go-to answer would be Minya, because I never had a problem with Minya, even back in the day. Sandra, on the other hand, that's a different story. But I actually love the design of Little Godzilla, even though it does feel kind of out of place when you compare him to Baby and Junior. Because again, when you see the evolution of Godzilla offspring from the Heisei series, again, you could put Baby up against Junior and say, okay, I can see how he grew into that. But once you put Little Godzilla in the middle, it's like, did he go through a Twinkie factory first before he went to Junior? But with that being said, I do love Little Godzilla. He's like my favorite offspring out of the bunch, you know. Abby, do you have a favorite Godzilla offspring?
She's holding him up right now.
Let me see. Let me blow her up right fast so she can.
Yeah,
so I can see what she got. Hold
Yep.
on.
Oh man.
And this is why Toho knew what they were doing with Little Godzilla.
Yeah. Feel the kids, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we got good taste. We here, Abby. That's what I'm talking about. We here. All right, let's go to the next question. Was there a fatherly moment that Godzilla did that in any of his movies that resonated with you as a dad personally?
Oh yeah.
All right, Eric, you up first.
I'm just gonna go with the Son of Godzilla when Godzilla is teaching Minya just how to use his atomic breath. Just seeing that he has the instincts to show Minya what to do really kind of resonated to me, because as we all know, that's literally our role besides protecting our kids, is to teaching them and showing them how to do certain things. And that was like boom right there, like that hit me immediately, because he's doing the same thing that I'm doing. And it's crazy how a radioactive lizard has the thought and the mindset to like, hey, like I need to train and teach my son how to do this, you know, whether it's roaring a mighty roar or actually doing a legit atomic breath instead of little rings, and actually being very fierce, and, you know, just showing him, hey, don't be scared, you know, you can do this kind of thing. So that really resonated to me, and I just love seeing that every time. AJ?
Well, if this was Family Feud, I think Eric just had the number one answer. The most relatable to me I would also have to go with Son of Godzilla, but when he's trying to sleep and Ming is jumping all over him,
For real.
that is probably the most relatable thing for me, especially with 2 little ones now, and they don't care what you're trying to do. It's all about what they're trying to do. So that is definitely one of the most relatable ones for me now as a dad, for sure.
Now, before we go to Adrian, let me pop in another guest that just showed up in here. What's up, Sellers?
Well.
Marcellus.
Oh, look at this man.
Your mic is off. Your mic is off, crazy.
Boom! What's up, dude?
Shakalaka.
Yo, what up? Is that AJ to the J to the A to the K to the L? Hey, it's AJ.
What's up, man? How we doing?
I'm good, yo. I'm gonna be in for. I just dropped in on y'all for a minute. What's happening?
Thanks for being here, dude. We're just going through some questions about that, and let me get to Adrian and Nick. Then you can answer that question yourself, okay?
Yes, sir.
But thanks again for being here. I know you're watching Money in the Bank, so go back to watching Money in the Bank.
I got a lot going on, man. Jay just left my house.
Well, hold on. Who?
Don't do it. Jay Cargill just left.
You will be missed. I know your wife.
He said it right there. I just picked her up.
Let me ask you this, Marcellus, because I know what's about to happen. Can I have your 64B Monster Maker 28 kit? Because you won't need it anymore.
Absolutely. Have everything. Absolutely. Yes, sir. I will be seeing heaven.
All right, Adrian, was it a fatherly moment that Godzilla did that resonated with you as a dad personally?
I would say when Godzilla's defending Minya against Kamakuris, actually. Kamakuris over there trying to, of course, beat him up, try and go kill him and everything so he can eat him. And then Godzilla just come charging in to save the day, even though Godzilla got a little work himself in that movie, more than you think he would against a giant spider. But nevertheless, Godzilla was able to go protect his child when he was in danger, and that definitely resonated for me. And one of the reasons why I love that movie, actually.
All right. What about you, Nick?
All right, back to Showa. You guys, with the Showa stuff, I mean, there's the resonating. That's the key word. Did it resonate with you? Nathaniel Plummer's got it there. The hug at the end of Son Godzilla, where it closes out the movie perfectly, whether you were laughing through the movie or, well, mostly laughing through the movie. But you were enjoying the movie. You were enjoying Son of Godzilla. And at the end, you had that emotional moment, regardless of all the silliness that might have been going on throughout that movie. It is one of those things that, I watch with my kids. We watch all the way to the end because of that scene. It's like it's coming up, the emotional, heart tugging, grab the heartstrings and, tug on them a little bit. And how is it that you can be, emotionally attached to these two guys in monster suits? And it's like, they did it. They successfully pulled it off. There it is. Yep. And, even with like my kids, when they're sick, or they're having trouble sleeping, I'm the one who's right there with them. We're, just relaxing. And it's like, just a hug, just to know you're there. And that's where the dad comes in. It's like, this is what I can do. I don't know if I can maybe say the right things to relax you, to get you past your anxieties or the trouble you're dealing with. But hey, I can sit with you here on the couch and we can put on Son of Godzilla. We can watch classic Godzilla movies. And it's like life's good now, right? We can watch anything Showa. Honestly, I can put on with them, and it's like life is good. All the things that may have been bothering us are off to the side. So I hope I didn't steal your thunder there, Leslie. But take it from there.
No, yes, all of y'all have made great points. But before I go, I want to know what Mr. Sellers has to say. Marcellus, the question is, was there a fatherly moment that Godzilla did in one of his movies that resonated with you as a dad personally?
First of all, let me answer. I saw y'all's first question about Jaws. The best thing with Jaws was the opening scene when he ate the two people by the buoy. That's the best thing.
It was just one, but okay. But
It was
fine.
the lady. It was the lady. Yeah, the lady. You know what I mean? Of course. No, because the dude disappeared first.
He was on the beach drunk.
Okay, yes, right.
Jaws 2 killed 2 people in the first scene.
It's been a long time.
It was just
Put
yesterday.
him on blast. Put him on blast.
Yo, it's the scene that made me cry. It's the scene that made me cry, and I didn't say that out loud. You remember when at the end of Son of Godzilla, when he was walking through the snow and he kept falling, he was all dumb and goofy looking,
Yeah.
and he just picked him up and he just said, "All right, man, we just gonna freeze together." And I was just like, yeah. So I skipped to that even to this day. Like I don't watch that scene.
Oh, okay.
It says a lot. That's a lot there, because it was just like the father protecting your son. You know, we are protectors, we're providers, and so that was the protection part. That scene is epic. Period. Like I literally cried, and I used to run like in the back so nobody would see me cry during that scene. Yeah, don't act like y'all didn't cry either.
Honestly, between that and the ending to Godzilla 1985, really, that was tearjerker moments. Especially 85 when you hear him scream going over, that one. That I said this many times before. That's up there with the death of Optimus Prime for me. Like I didn't talk to nobody. I lost weight. I didn't eat anything. I was like, my life is over. Like Optimus Prime is gone. Godzilla is gone. It's like. And I mean, of course, when you're a kid, you know everything is taken way out of proportion. Yeah, but you know it is what it is. But the moment that Godzilla did that resonated with me the most, and like a lot of y'all, it's from Son of Godzilla. And I think AJ touched on this. But when I had my first daughter, and I brought her over to my apartment for the first time, we watched her for the first time. That's why I give mothers so much credit for what y'all do. But that moment where it's like multiple times in Son of Godzilla, where Godzilla would just, you know, he'll tend to mean you, but then he'll fall asleep. Then he'll wake up and he's nowhere to be found. It's like that happened to me one time. Like me and my daughter fell asleep on the couch, right? I'm thinking, okay, because again, with a toddler, they need constant attention. You know, they need so much. And when you're working and you know whatever, you know, it's you're tired, right? But I did my best to make sure she was entertained. And I thought I got her to the point where we were tired. So we both took a nap. And she was on my chest. When I woke up, I was like, I found this girl in the kitchen trying to make her a sandwich. I'm like, girl, what are you know? So I understand when Godzilla wakes up and minions nowhere to be found. Godzilla's going all over the island. I'm like, where is this fool at? Like I told him to sit his butt down somewhere. Oh, come on. So when that happened to me with my first daughter, I was like, Godzilla, I feel you, bro. I understand, you know, what you're going through. So, but that's the moment that resonates for me most as a dad. Third question, and I'm sure y'all have great answers to this, but do you share the fandom with your kids? And if so, do they have a favorite monster or collectible that you have? Eric, go.
Absolutely. I brainwashed them when they were toddlers. I mean, I threw everything at them that I could. I mean, you name it. I was putting movies on. I was putting I was putting shirts on them. I mean, everything that I could. I was trying to brainwash them so they could like the stuff. And my oldest doesn't like it. She used to kind of like it when she was younger, but now she just completely just no. But I stuck it in her face enough where she memorized all the names even when she was young. And I did that even with my youngest, where they were kind of teaching each other and trying to figure out how to say their names, you know, which name goes with who, you know, all that kind of stuff. So my oldest, her favorite kaiju is Hedorah, the piece of crap. I don't know why she likes that.
Wait a minute. Hold on. How does that work? Because I know you hate Hedorah.
Exactly. I think she does it just because she knows I hate it, so she has to love it. So just to spite me. But yeah, she likes Hedorah. And then my youngest, she likes Minya. She just resonates to Minya because we watch Son of Godzilla all the time, and in her mind, I am Godzilla, she is Minya, so she just put those two and two together, and she's always just loved Minya in every single way, saying, when he came out of the egg, mama, and everything, she'd be saying dada, it's just kind of connected. So I've done my best. My youngest is still kind of in it. She's still finds things to watch with me, and I love that. My oldest not so much, so I'm just enjoying it while I can, while they like it, and then eventually go away. But I tried my damnedest to brainwash them, but unfortunately it didn't take fully. So
I picture Eric doing literally like Clockwork Orange, like having them in the chair with their eyes like wide.
Dude, for real. I put a Godzilla movie on, I'd plant them right on the couch, like, watch this. We're watching this, okay? This is what you're gonna do. We're not watching cartoons. We're watching Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, and this guy's Godzilla is ripping the crap out of Anguirus' mouth, but we're gonna sit here and we're gonna watch this, okay?
Before I get into, Abby and I, you shout out to my dad, because honestly, without him, I don't know if this would have manifested into what it's become for me. I pretty much got my first Bandai figure, was a Gigan with my dad, all the way out in like New Jersey. And then that was kind of the end. My dad always liked Godzilla movies, and like just because my dad's like big into like models and trains and all that stuff, so the whole tokusatsu like just really appealed to him, and that was our huge bonding thing between my dad and I. And now, almost 30 years later, we're still collecting, doing what we're doing with Kaiju Live and everything, and it's awesome. And now I've had the chance to pass that down between Abby, and now Abby's disappeared. But
there she is.
There she goes.
There she is.
And Abby's, one of the coolest things is like being able to take your kids to see a Godzilla movie. Like we've seen, the last two MonsterVerse films. Haven't took her to see -1 yet, just because I don't know if she can handle that. She gets a little scary. We'll see.
Yeah. Don't do that.
And the themes in that movie are maybe a little too much.
I will bring my mask.
But I'm gonna let Abby take it. What is your favorite monster? Gotta show everybody. Yeah.
Hey, nice.
Good choice.
So yeah, one of the first movies we watched was Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, because that's one of my favorites, and that was her first like Godzilla related Christmas gift, and I actually posted that online on Kaiju Live when she got it, and like when she opened it, she's just like puppy, because that's what she would call him. Yeah, so she still likes it. She's got a Kaiju Live shirt on right now. I don't know if you guys can see, but
Yes.
Abby is still very much into Godzilla right now, and we'll see. Hopefully it can stay, but I'm enjoying the ride right now. Yeah.
I can still.
I know somehow Jordan is crying right now out of happiness because he loves King Caesar. So once he sees this, I'm sure he's gonna be in the corner in the fetal position, crying his eyes out.
Well, shout out to Jordan, because I met him finally in person at Kaiju Brooklyn. Just awesome, great dude, man. It was awesome to see him in person. And that was big thing about Kaiju Brooklyn again. I got injured at work. I guess I'll just tell the story real quick if that's okay. I got injured at work. I fell off a ladder from about 6-7 feet up. The ladder slid out from under me. I broke my left wrist, right rib, and I herniated 2 discs in my lower back. And it's basically taken me up until about 2 months ago from a lot of treatment. I got 2 cortisone shots and everything to finally get back to walking. You realize just how, my back would just lock up and I'd barely be able to like move sometimes. So finally getting healthy again, being able to play with my kids is basically like my biggest priority. So down like 15 pounds, trying to lose weight, get back into it. And obviously I know a lot of people ask about the Kaiju Live show. Dad's been keeping it going. But it'll be coming back in full effect very soon. Just had a good rough patch there of just trying to get back on my feet, so to speak, from that injury. So yeah, and Kaiju Brooklyn was our first event going to, and it was just awesome to just see so many people in person and just getting that sense of community again. That's probably the best thing about all of this is how, with the internet and all that jazz, just collect all monsters, Kaiju Live, the Monster Report, NWA, just bringing the sense of community together. Even though there's a lot of toxic stuff out there, these are some great people, and I'm honored to be a part of it. And thank you all for reaching out to me. Anyone that reached out to me during all this, really appreciate it. Leslie, invited me to be on this show, and I'm not forgotten. So it's been great. Thank you all so much, and everyone watching, thank you.
No, man, it's always good seeing you.
You're here, man.
And I always have an ear for you, especially when you're driving home and I
This is
hear
just a
all
soda,
that.
by the way, but crack one open for the boys,
Hey.
I got an ear for you every time you call me when you're heading home from work and I hear all the New York kerfluffle. Hey, get out of the way! I'm walking here. What are you doing?
Yeah. New York traffic is a beautiful thing.
But yeah, we're so happy that you're back and you're gearing up to get Kaiju Live back up and rolling again. And as always, you can always count on our support to help spread the word on that. You know what I'm saying? You
Absolutely
have been one of the pioneers in our community, with your Kaiju Live. Like, you said we brought people together. You know what? You brought people together too with Kaiju Live. Like, your Kaiju Live is really an institution in our fandom. You know what I'm saying? And it has not been forgotten. Trust me on that. We have not forgotten about you. And whenever you do bring it back, we're going to be back in full force, cutting it up in the chat like we always do, because you're one of the good ones. And we don't mind love and supporting the good ones.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And we love your hair.
Much, guys.
We love your hair.
Yeah.
It gets grayer every minute.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you still got some. Jeez.
Yeah.
Right, Eric. I'm like, that man got some nice hair.
Exactly. I get
Yeah.
Shout outs to my dad, because that's where I get it from.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Adrian, let's get back on the train. What about you? Do you share your fandom with your kids, or do they have a favorite monster? What's the dealio?
So of course I did. When Jaden's been watching Godzilla since he was 8 or 9 months old. Especially the nights he couldn't sleep and he was up all night. Oh, you want to stay awake? We're gonna watch Godzilla. so that was always our ritual for a while. We will always watch Godzilla together. And then as far as his favorite figure, Jaden. As far as his favorite figure, I'll have him show y'all real quick. He'll make a quick appearance.
A cameo? Jesus Christ.
Of course, he's in that teenage phase, so don't mind the shyness. You got to
It's all right,
put that
man. It's all good.
Jaden.
We're all nerds.
Man,
Yeah, I'll
good
let
We're
you
not
sit.
nerds, Daddy. We're not the candy nerds.
Yeah.
What
Hey,
up,
guys.
man? What's going
What's
on,
going
man?
on, dude?
It's
Hey, guys.
going.
So
Hey.
my favorite Godzilla figure from his collection, I picked it out myself. It's this one.
The Shin guy.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a great one.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, you got a good one. Actually, you know what? That's yours. You just
Yeah,
don't
just
know
take
yet.
it now.
Just
Yeah,
take it. It's
it.
yours now.
You might as well do something happy.
Wow.
You might as well.
Oh my
Come on, we have it.
Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, my baby ain't no baby no more, as y'all see.
Right. Right, bro.
He looks just like you, man. For real. He does.
Yes, thank you.
We're good. All right, Nick, you up next, buddy?
All right.
And
When it comes to sharing the fandom, absolutely. They're all They're all kaiju converts, and they grow up with it. They have their own ways of saying the names as they grow. I remember my oldest daughter, she's been on the Monster Report since the beginning when she was 4 years old, and she gets in front of the camera and she grabs the mic and she does her own Monster Report. She did it to the Wolfman, and half of the words didn't make sense, but I didn't care. It was just great. So yeah, so she's had her words like, Gigan was Gugan for a while. Rodan was Rhodey. Just love that. I'll always remember, that. I was like, you want to watch Rhodey? And it's like, I don't call it that anymore, Dad. So they always love Gamera. That's the rewatchability with my kids and myself. We watch Godzilla all the time. And all the Toho films, but the Gamera movies we can all watch as a family, so we love them. Cool. Even when Giron's out there, hacking to pieces the guy.
I was gonna say, are you fine with him being impaled in the chest, or?
They're just like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. It's just like,
it's just hilarious.
Like, it is going to give you nightmares, right? And it's like, oh, but it's so cool. They love this stuff. Yeah.
Even Jiger?
Yeah.
What happened to him in Jiger? Like, do we want to talk about that one?
Oh, Jesus.
The Showa Gamera series was not for the faint of heart. And it's like, I want him to grow up like, most of you guys and I did with, the things that traumatize us. Optimus Prime dying, the G.I. Joe movie even is like, oh my gosh, this is like serious stuff. But hey, Leslie, could you throw AJ and Abby back on? I got to throw a dad joke towards Abby if he's ready for it. Unless Dad's already told this dad joke. So, but Abby, you ready for this? Abby?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, someone in this group, you see everyone here, someone in this group is secretly an owl. Somebody in this group, they're secretly an owl.
I just heard a hoot hoot.
What's that?
What's that?
I just heard a hoot hoot.
Come on, Abby. You have a question?
No.
No? Who's an owl?
I don't know.
I knew where you were going with it.
I thought it was AJ. I thought it was.
To do it.
Yep. He took it. She's too smart for me with my dad jokes.
We do watch some fun reels at night. So she has seen that one with the shark puppets. Is that where the?
It's been overdone. So.
And it's just like who?
Yeah.
Yeah, now you know what we're doing. Yeah.
When I'm gets him every time. When I'm on like Everett streams, I'm like giving him flack because he's there and I'm like throwing jokes at him and he doesn't get them. They're going over his head. He's like, Nick must have like a book of dad jokes or something lying around. And I'm like, a book of dad jokes. Yes.
I'm old and lame because I'm still sitting under my breath going, who? I'm so lost.
Of course, you.
I really am. I'm just like, who we talking about?
An owl says who, my friend?
Golly.
Lord have mercy.
I know.
Lord have mercy.
I don't want my daughter to call me lame.
Look at Nick. He's turning red. He's laughing so hard.
Bro, I was really sitting here going, and I was doing that in my breath. I was going, ooh.
Next
I didn't want to say it out loud.
Next round, I'll come up with another one for you. Okay.
Oh,
God.
Down and
oh man, I'm so embarrassed.
But maybe you should take it from here unless you had anything else for me, Leslie.
How about you, Marcella? Do you share the fandom with your kids, or did you share them? In the collectibles or whatever.
Yeah, all of my kids, but mainly my daughter. We love Water Gargantuas, and then my grandbaby is the main one. I knew what her favorite figure was when I was cleaning. I was doing a lot of dusting, and I have my big Prime 1 Gamera sitting on the floor. and I was hearing all these songs, and I got my back to her, and she just a singing. She only 4. A picture was on Facebook, and I turn around, and my camera mouth is full of newspaper. She was holding my camera's hands and was feeding it newspaper. And just, Eric, it was on Facebook for a while, and she's just singing to him, and she's just stuffing more newspaper in his mouth, and it really looked like Gamera was having a good time with her. And so, and it was my prime one. I couldn't even do nothing. It was so cute. I couldn't even do nothing. And so she was just here last week for my son's graduation, and I said, "Baby, you remember the Gamera Prime?" She said, "Yep." So she loves it. She loves Gamera, and she loves King Kong. And so now she's 8. So when she was just here, she came into my garage. She was like, "Dad," she called me Papa. "Papa, when you go to heaven," she's "No, I'm going to heaven. You know, I guess I can receive that." She's like, "When you go to heaven, like, do I get all of this?" And I was just like, "Yeah, this all might be coming to heaven with me. We had to talk about that." I mean, there's a couple pieces coming to heaven with me, baby girl. So I don't know. We have to see what heaven's contract is like, because I don't think I'm leaving all this to you. But yeah, I share it with them all the time. They love it, and then they share it with all their friends and everything. You know me, my church loves it. You know, but my kids, yeah, they definitely, especially my grandbaby. But it's Water Guard grandchildren for my house, though.
Good. For me, yes, absolutely. Like when I was doing my YouTube channel, like you would see them pop up every now and then, you know. But that's the thing. When me and Sandra got together, I didn't really force it down their throats, you know. If anything, I try to keep it to myself. Like there were times, like let's say if I'm in the living room by myself watching TV, and I'm watching the Godzilla film. Let's say they walk in. Normally, I'll just pop it out and go to somewhere else. I know everybody is not into that, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of times they would just sit there with me and watch it. They would have like legitimate questions, like, "What's that monster? What's that monster?" And they really wanted to know, even though they weren't really into the films, but they knew it was important to me, so it was important to them, and that I will never forget. But my 3 daughters, the youngest is Jasmine, then Olivia is the middle, and then Haley's the oldest. They're all pretty much grown out the house right now, but they did have their own favorite monster from my collection. Eric, you did say your daughter likes Mania. Guess what? My oldest, Haley, she absolutely loved Mania, more so than Godzilla. And I know it's a statement that you would never ever hear in this fandom, but daggone it, that is what it was. Like the sun rose and set on Mania. She thought he was cute. Which he is to a certain extent, but she just couldn't get enough of Mania to the chagrin of Sandra. Because Sandra was like, "Really? Really?" You know,
the Doughboy.
Yeah, of all of them, you like that, and I'm like, you know what? That is cool. It is cool. Olivia, she actually had a thing for Varan. She actually thought Varan was a cool looking monster.
Okay.
And she absolutely loves Space Godzilla. Adrian, hey, I know you're gonna like that. But she actually thought, in her head canon, she actually thought that Space Godzilla was a girl because of the crown on top of his head. And she was, and she told me one time, she was like, "Well, Space Godzilla's a girl because he got that crown on his head." I'm like, okay, well, I guess Space Godzilla's a girl. I mean, technically, Biollante did make him partially, so he could be female, I guess. I mean, Adrian, don't go crazy. I'm just saying. We're talking about kids here. We're talking about kids.
Space Godzilla's gender.
Yeah. So just And my youngest daughter, Jasmine, she had a thing for the Mothra twins, for Mothra versus Godzilla.
Aww.
Don't ask me why she did this, but for one day I'm watching it, and it's of course the scene where Godzilla gets defeated. I'm sorry, Eric. Don't start cussing. But it's the point where Godzilla gets defeated by the Mothra twins, and I don't know why she did this, but she actually named them. She named them in her head. One is male, one is female. She named them David and Lily. I don't know why she did that. I was like, okay, that's David, and the other one's Lily. Like you couldn't tell which one. But then one day we're watching Geisha Three-Headed Monster, and then she was like, "Wait a minute, where's David? Where's Lily? Where's the other one?" I'm like, they didn't make it. So But yeah, I did my best to share my fandom, with the kids. They really enjoyed it. Again, I didn't force feed it down their throats. They kind of came to me with it, and there were times where they did collection videos with it. They took a particular monster and they liked it, and I think a couple of them actually did a couple of book reports about it in school. So they really taken to the fandom. But then once they got older, they whatever. But every now and then they do still ask me about the fandom, the collection. They was like, "Oh, I know a new Godzilla film's coming out with King Kong, right? You going to go see it?" I was like, "Duh." So yeah, I definitely share that with my kids. But let's go to the final question. And you know what? We kind of answered this question before, like what is our favorite personal moment. We kind of already answered that. So let's just bypass that. Let's go into our collectible picks of our favorite Godzilla moments when he was a dad or his particular offspring. All right, Eric, you up first. What you want to show off?
You want to do one at a time or all
Just
four?
do them all at one time.
Okay. So first, let me get this. This is technically one because it's a set. So we're gonna go with this set. I am not the biggest fan of Son of Godzilla, let alone this tremendously horrific suit. But I had to get this.
We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Hold on a second. You know what? That's it. He's gone. He's out of here. Hold on. He's out of here. So.
All right.
We will not have no 67 bashing on this stream. I love that suit. No, don't you disrespect me in front of company, Eric. I'm bringing you back.
Oh God!
Oh, hey, Eric.
Where did I go? What happened? I was just saying how much I love this suit, and I just disappeared. I don't know what happened.
You darn right you did. You darn right you did. All right, man. What else you got?
That's one, and then the new Bandai of Little Godzilla.
Gorgeous. Rivals the X Plus.
Tremendous.
Rivals the X Plus, in my opinion.
Absolutely. In Bandai form, this was crazy. I couldn't believe that they did this. So that was awesome. And then I talked about him earlier, but I gotta go with the Gemstone Godzilla. I absolutely love this. I hope they do more with this in the future because a lot of potential. Love the design. It's just great. So,
all right, AJ, you ready, or you want Adrian to go next? You ready for it?
We're good.
Okay,
We're good.
All right, go for it. What you got?
Eric just showed off the X Plus, so I won't show that one off. But we had gotten these.
Oh yeah.
Set. I had to get this. Abby has a whole little D for real collection on her deck.
God, this is so hard. I can't.
But so this was. Oh, you got a chair right there. Just put it down. And
Dan, come on.
Right.
Well, yeah. Now it's time to show it. And then shout outs to Mondo and Peter for this set.
There you go.
This is the Attack All Monsters set in my favorite colorways. And that's I had, again, a lot of my collection's still kind of in storage. So I wasn't able to get some of my Bondis that I wanted, like Baby and Little. So these are the closest ones I had, and perfect timing because these guys are awesome. But yeah, that's all I got. I had the X Plus, but Eric stole my thunder. So.
All right, A-Train, what you got, bud?
Well, don't feel bad, AJ, because Eric stole my freaking thunder too. Because of course, gotta love little Godzilla. Gotta love this little adorable Bandai. And honestly, I feel like this does look better than the X Plus one. This thing looks incredible. I don't really collect Bandai like that, but I'm glad I got this because this thing's just amazing.
Absolutely.
Really? All right, now I gotta get this thing.
Dude, you do.
And then again, Eric stole my thunder because of course I have the Gemstone Godzilla also. Got this at G-Fest last year, and actually this is kind of what started my freaking Bandai kick of as of late. So
anything wrong with that?
Gemstone Godzilla.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Especially the quality. Like the quality has been stepped up with Bandai, and the price points haven't really changed. So yeah, Bandai's been killing it in both the quality and price point. So yeah, you're not wrong for that.
Yeah. And then the last thing is actually my very first Bandai figure that I ever got. Of course,
Junior.
Godzilla Junior. So all I need is Little Godzilla to finish his, I guess, anthology or whatever. But of course, like I said, this is my very first Bandai Godzilla figure I ever got, and this thing is amazing. I would have had one more thing, but it's not freaking here yet. So I guess I got to wait till Tuesday to show that off.
As a whole, Junior is not represented that well in the community either. Like that as a whole.
Sure ain't.
And you would think that somebody would have done something by now. Like only Galloping Ghost is actually doing something with Junior. Like nobody's doing anything. I mean, we ain't got to talk about the Deuce of Kai 95, but that's technically Junior. But I'm talking about that Junior. Hold it up, Adrian, again. Yeah. That Junior. That one needs more representation, figure-wise, in my opinion.
Yes, he does.
So, okay. Nick, you up next. What collectibles you want to show off, sir?
All right, we'll switch over to this other camera here. So I got to get into stuff. So yeah, I'm a big fan of laser discs here. So this is the Toho laser disc, actually from Japan, of Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. I just love that cover because for whatever reason, the Toho Laserdiscs really got it going on because they try to get the figures as front and center as possible and get them in your face like that. So I collect those. The Godzilla versus Gigan is like this too. It puts the monsters' faces right in your face. So I love that about that. You saw earlier Son of Godzilla VHS tape because, again, I keep all my VHS tapes because I just love physical media, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah. And of course, for a while there, I didn't have Son of Godzilla as a kid on VHS until I got this one, until I found it somewhere. Because you go on the hunts, you know, before the internet, you went out to different stores and check the Music Land and whatever else, you know, the Suncoast Video. You know,
oh my God, yeah.
All of your different stores that had physical media in it. For whatever you can find. So you check the G for Godzilla or Gamera. You check S for Son of Godzilla, D for Destroy All Monsters. You know, it was like anything that I could get a hold of. I don't have much for Baby Minya here, but I do have the Mezco little one, the Destroy All Monsters set, which is pretty cool. They did give you the little circle puff ball, you know, the smoke ring. And so that was kind of cool. But yeah, I need to get more of the Minya figures. Actually, Eric, as much as you don't like him, you have more Minya than I do. So, and just because Minya was in Destroy All Monsters, the Maru-san 68 here, I just love that figure. It was one of those that I just happened to find one day. And, you know, anything Destroy All Monsters I do love. But this one's truly a unique you know, figure because it just is unlike any other 68 suit that I have. And of course, seeing the 68 suit, you know, going through Destroy All Monsters Attacked, you know, that was kind of cool to see that suit with the Son of Godzilla suit. Even though, you know, we had Son of Godzilla with a different suit, we have this suit being the father figure to Dominia. So, but yeah, I've got plenty of other 68s as well, but this one is always kind of a cool one and it's unique. So yeah, didn't want to steal anyone else's thunder, but yeah, Marcellus, take it from there. Thank you.
Mine's is the X Plus. These was built though. It's the resin.
Those are resin ones. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, these are the resin ones, which I love. Of course, I have what's his name in here to kind of complete it. And I'm actually about to do a repaint on him. I saw it when I was at Leslie's house. The resin X Plus is just, it's amazing. It's just like everything just kind of locks into place. I really haven't collected any more juniors. I have like 3 minions here. I do have a junior that's supposed to come. I actually did for I think Thomas Lee. I just did a huge baby Godzilla, like a 40 centimeter one. That thing was absolutely
Okay.
incredible. But I don't really have too many other junior stuff because here of late I've just been working like crazy. I'm gonna actually have to get running here in a second. But yeah, that's kind of like what I have really.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. I know you got to get up out of here, but again, Marcellus, I know I speak on behalf of Eric and Adrian and Nick and everybody in the family when I say this. You are a wonderful and positive dude that we are so grateful and thankful to have in our fandom and in our lives. We appreciate your hard work. We appreciate what you do in being a pastor, motivational speaker. It's like how you're pulled into a million different directions and still have a smile on your face is commendable, especially in the world that we live in. So we want to say thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. And you make sure you get those commissions done on time. Otherwise, we're going to kick your behind. You understand what I'm saying to you? Eric, do you feel me on that?
I appreciate it. You know, I just, just texted Leslie here a second ago. I have an emergency. You know, I just want to say this quickly, as being a father, it's not that I just have just my children, but I'm like a father figure to, a lot of different people. If you follow me, I have a lot of spiritual sons and daughters that I'm like the only father that they have. And so I'm pulled so many different directions. I even had one that was almost on a deathbed for almost 5 or 6 months. And, and so being a father to me is about being the priest of your home, being the provider and being the protector. I don't take it lightly. I have a son right now that's graduating and, he's making some life decisions. So, I walk those steps through every adventure of my child's life. And it's an amazing thing to be a father. I salute you guys. I appreciate y'all. I thank you for your support. Thank you for your patience. Hope I don't let you guys down at G-Fest. It's going to be good to see all of y'all. And I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank you guys.
No problem, man.
Love you, buddy.
Love
you, dude.
Thank y'all so much.
Man.
Thank you,
Happy
man.
Father's Day.
It's so crazy. Father's Day. It's Father's Day and my wedding anniversary on that same day. So, it's a lot going on. Appreciate y'all, man.
We love you, man.
Love y'all too, man. I got to get running here.
All right,
Take care.
Talk to y'all later. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. That was awesome. Let's see. To answer that question, let's see. Eric, if you could pull up that pic of my collectible pics, can I show you what I have? Okay, here we go. These are mine, ladies and gentlemen. Again, kind of like Eric and AJ and Adrian. Of course, down there at the far left, that's the Bandai Little Godzilla. Again, that was a really, really cool figure that came out earlier this year. Like, I didn't think a Bandai would rival an X Plus, but yet here we are. That thing is absolutely great. AJ, I tell you what, if I find one at G-Fest, come driving this year, I'll pick you up one and send it to you, okay?
Appreciate that.
No problem. And of course, in the middle, that is the Toho Special Effects book of Minya, that showed various pictures of his appearance from Son of Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters, and Godzilla's Revenge. Again, those books are really, really cool. They show never before seen photos. They're also great for model kit builders who wants to build and paint a model kit and can't get the color right. They use the photos for that. But, I'm glad they actually dedicated a book for Minya, as a matter of fact. And it shows that maybe Minya is not as hated as a lot of people like to think that he is. So I'm glad that they devoted an entire book to the Showa versions of Minya. To the far right, that is actually the 25 centimeter Minya that was the Rick Etcher that came with the 25 centimeter Gabra. Out of all the Minions that X Plus has done, that's my favorite. I don't know why, maybe because it's like when I look at it, I just hear that goofy voice in my head. Godzilla says that I should find my own battles,
Oh my God.
So I like that. I know, right, Adrian? I know, but you know what? I'll take that voice over the Japanese one.
That all day.
That female
all day, baby.
Oh yeah,
all day.
Yeah. That one sound like a female trapped in the closet. No. Give me Yogi the Bear Give me Yogi the Bear from Godzilla's Revenge. I'll take that one all day long.
Mhm.
And finally, up in the at the top, that is the X Plus 30 centimeter Godzilla 1967 that Eric bashed like 5 minutes ago, but we ain't gonna talk about that. I go on record, I've said it many times before, Adrian can attest to this, that I absolutely love this suit. It is in my top 10 of favorite Godzilla suits.
True.
I think that the suit was perfect for the film that it was based around it. Now, I understand that may rub some people the wrong way. And again, I think for a Godzilla design where a movie was built around it, it was perfect for that. Like, this design wouldn't work in 84. It wouldn't work in GMK. It wouldn't work in the 54 film. But to show Godzilla for the first time as a father, I think it served its purpose, despite it not being the best looking suit in the world. But those are my collectible picks. Now, before we move on from the Godzilla Dad stuff and go into our last collectible picks that will showcase future supplemental videos I got planned for this channel, let me ask this one last question to all these wonderful, fine people here. Let me stretch this out some more. Okay, that was okay. All right. And again, I know we kind of answered this, but let's kind of like let's circle back to it, and maybe we'll answer it in a different way or whatever. But if not, still get the same answer, whatever. But what is your personal favorite emotional moment involving Godzilla and his offspring, no matter what it is? Eric, go.
Oh boy. Golly, man. I guess I'll say that we'll do Final Wars. The ending scene when Godzilla and Manila are swimming off into the sunset. That is a pretty powerful scene, just for the fact that Godzilla literally stopped the rampage, stopped whatever he was doing, because Minya stepped in front of him, got in his way, and was like, "Dad, chill out. You need to calm down, and you just need to, let bygones be bygones and let these people go." And he was like, "All right, son, let's go." And they left, and it was a nice send off. We all thought it was going to be the end of the Godzilla series with that particular movie, and that scene was a nice send off. It was very nice. It was with the sun setting and those two leaving, so it was a nice scene. I'll give it that.
What about you, AJ?
I really thought we would go this whole show without mentioning Final Wars, but unfortunately,
I'm
it's
a
happening.
I didn't want
The most, I gotta say, the most emotional scene for me has to be in Godzilla vs. Destroyer when he's trying to revive Junior and he can't.
Yeah.
And then he basically just like kind of
Don't-
goes nuts.
Don't cry,
So-
Eric. Don't cry, Eric.
Yeah, no, that
Don't
scene-
make me.
even-
Don't make me.
I
Don't talk about it
actually
too much.
haven't watched that since becoming a dad, so maybe I should. I probably won't be able to handle it. But even as what was I, a teenager then? Like that was like, damn, this is heavy for. So yeah, for me it's that one. How about you, Adrian?
AJ, you took my answer honestly, because when I first saw that the very first time, I legit started. That's why I started tearing up. I started crying when Godzilla died, but that's when my emotions really got hit. When Godzilla's sitting there trying to revive Junior, he closed his eyes and he's like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" And then you see how heartbroken Godzilla is at that point. Of course, this D-bag destroyer comes in and blasts in the back and ruins everything. But yeah, it definitely has to be that when Godzilla's trying to revive Junior.
What about you, Nick?
All right, so Son of Godzilla, go back to that one. Of course, do love the ending scene, but here's something that actually gets kind of the blood flowing and excitement is, the battle with Kumonga, where Godzilla is down and he is actually being covered by the spider's web. And I'm the dad, so I've always got to kill the spiders in the house. Every one of my kids hates spiders. And so, yeah, whenever the spider's there, I'm the one who has to kill it. But in this case, yeah, Godzilla's down, and you know, baby Minnie is there, and he's like, you know, come on, Dad, come on, and he's like, he's panicked, and then immediately he breathes fire, you know, to save his dad, you know, and the training, you know, that worked out. That was unexpected. So I love the fact that he blocks, you know, the spider's web just enough for Godzilla to get free, and, you know, Dad to save the day. So that is a great emotional moment for me. Go Leslie.
Before I go into mine, you know what, Adrian, you brought up a great point about resuscitating Junior. It's like, really, honestly, and I know that Godzilla dying, you know, that was emotional for everybody. I would like to argue that maybe Godzilla Jr.'s supposed death, when you see Mickey cry, then you see Godzilla cry, and it's like, oh man, it's like, in a way, I kind of get more emotional with that than seeing Godzilla die, because you know what happened after that. But I don't know. It's just, again, maybe y'all can talk about that when y'all talk about the film on NWA, but I want to bring that point up. But the most emotional moment for me, and this is kind of like unorthodox and out there a little bit, is actually come from one of my most least favorite Godzilla films of all time. And that is Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. I've said my many things about that. I'm sorry, AJ, because I know you for a fact have said you find that film to be the best film in the Heisei period. And how we're still friends, I'll never know.
This is worse. I didn't even know this. This is worse than Jaws 2. What the hell is this?
Dude, for real.
What is this?
For real.
This is supposed to be a positive show, and you're dropping this on me?
Hey, I know a lot of people love that movie, but to me, that's just a poor retread of Gorgo with just Mechagodzilla and Rodan thrown in. I'm sorry, but
Oh my God, listen.
but I'm sorry. It's how I feel. I'm sorry. I don't like that.
You're about to make me bring the square table back. I might have to speed up finishing my room here. I don't know if I can handle it.
I mean, I have my issues with the film. I don't hate it, but it's one of my least favorite Godzilla films. But it does get me emotional at the very end. That moment where the girl has to leave baby Godzilla and pass him off to Godzilla. And that moment when she leaves him in the container and she hops into the helicopter and she turns around and baby Godzilla got her by her blouse. And then she starts crying, and then he starts crying. Then Godzilla just is standing on top of both of them. And, and Godzilla was not trying to mean baby any harm, but baby didn't understand that. But it's at that moment where there's no dialogue. It's basically Godzilla's like, I'm here for you. I'm here to take you back with me. And then Mickey makes baby understand, and they go off together. But it's just that moment. Then you hear the Ifukube music where the girl, again, has to give off baby to Godzilla. Because at that point, you might as well say that she was the mother. You know what I'm saying? And now she has to give basically her de facto child to the real parent. It's just an emotional scene that honestly doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion. But that's the one that gets me emotional. When I see Junior cry, I mean, baby Godzilla cry, I'm like, oh yeah, that does kind of hit me right there. So, but with that being said, that's going to basically conclude this portion of the Dadzilla portion of the show. I want to thank y'all so much for answering the questions. Thank you so much for Marcellus for being here. Unfortunately, again, we were supposed to have Greg Benton. He was supposed to be here, but he couldn't get on. He had some computer issues. And also from NWA, our great friend Joe Myers. He was supposed to be here, but he had some personal stuff that he had to do. But in case you don't know, everybody here on the panel and everybody here in the chat, in case you don't know, Joe is expecting to be a father himself. He's about to have a kid real soon. So in honor of that, congratulations, absolutely. So in honor of that, let's just go around the room and give him some words of encouragement. Just give him some well wishes, and or you got any fatherly advice or anything positive that you want to throw Joe's way and his wife's way. The floor is yours. All right, Eric, you're up first, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much I can say that I haven't already said to him, because I am a personal friend of Joe and we talk all the time. So, but for everybody listening in here, just that he just needs to absorb everything that's going on and enjoy everything that's going on, because time flies. And before you know it, they're walking, they're speaking, they're doing other things. And you think to yourself, what happened? Where'd the time go? Just live in the moment, enjoy everything, even the tough times. Just enjoy it. You know, don't get too frustrated with yourself, with the baby, with your wife. You know, you're going through it together, and it's just, you know, it's a ride that you just kind of have to ride it together and just really enjoy it, honestly. So, you know, well wishes to him and Mel, and I love them to death, and they know that. And I'm just so happy this is happening to a pair of people that really deserve it, because let's be honest, not everybody deserves to be a parent. So they definitely do. So I'm glad they're experiencing this, and can't wait to meet the little guy.
Man, another number one answer from Eric. Yeah, I mean, advice for a new dad. Yeah, you just, you know, there's no book that's going to tell you the right way or the wrong way. You know, just do what feels best for you, what you think is right, and a lot of stuff just kind of falls into place. You know, it's definitely a test, and there's going to be some rough days, but honestly, the great days outweigh them by tenfold. It's not even close. You know, say goodbye to having any spontaneous life, because that's gone.
Yep.
Yep.
There's no more, hey, you want to go to the movies, or hey, let's go out to dinner. That shit's over. That's over. So just prepare for that, because that's a big change. There's no more like, hey, you want to go out? No, that's gone.
No.
But honestly, it really is. I don't want to get all preachy, but it really is like a blessing, being a dad, and the amount of stuff that they teach you and things you learn about yourself. So again, there's really no right or wrong answers. It's because everyone's situation is going to be different. Just handle it the best you can, and you know, you and your wife are a team, and if you approach it that way, it's going to be nothing but great things. So again, congratulations to you guys. I can't wait to see you guys again. It's been so long, and happy Father's Day. Adrian?
Right on.
Well, two great answers, gentlemen. I'll keep it short and sweet. Being a dad is the absolute toughest job on the planet. It's the absolute toughest job on the planet, especially since I believe they're having a boy too. Yeah, it's definitely the toughest job on the planet, but it's the absolute best job on the planet as well. Absolute best job on the planet as well. So always be willing to learn. Don't, because I promise you, as soon as you think you have something figured out, it's gonna switch up on you immediately, every single time. So just give yourself grace and patience. And like AJ said, you and Mil are a team. As long as y'all tie that together, there's nothing that y'all can't do to make sure your baby's successful. Of course, happy early Father's Day, Joe, and blessings to you and Mel.
All right, Joe, big congratulations to you and your wife, the newborn, and one of the best things in life is being a parent, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. I've said that so many times, and you know, take every moment just to spend time with family. Quality time is one of the biggest things. Yes, as a dad, we're the providers. We're doing a lot of work out there, you know, doing work outside, going to a job, constantly bringing home the bacon. That is a big part of what we're doing. We're providers, but spending quality time with a family, being present there together as a family, you can't put a price tag on that. I'd also encourage, you know, the book, The 5 Love Languages. Yes, you and your wife need to read that together and look at the love language you have between each other, but children have love languages too. And when they're young, quality time is a big part of that. Physical touch also. Obviously, with their baby, all they're going to do is just, you know, be held constantly. And so, you know, and that's kind of a great time too. They're not destroying the house yet. They're a baby.
Yeah.
Just a sack of potatoes in a crib. You're like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, but spend that quality time, especially as a baby. You know, hold them. You know, spend that time with them as a baby. Look at them in the eyes, and as soon as they're starting to, really recognize you, they recognize, how you feel, how you smell, how you look, and that's gonna be just an invaluable connection. And you can't put a price tag on that. So yeah, just and continue to be rewarded, be blessed by this new life. And as someone with 5 kids, you don't have to stop with one. Because so I know, take a personal touch with the education of your children too. Whether you put them through public school, that's fine. We chose to homeschool. We chose it because we felt like we wanted to have that personal touch in our children's education. They're educated by family, but if you do go through public school, that's just as fine, or a private school, but, be involved in your children's education and their upbringing, because they're going to learn more from you. Yes, they might learn something from another teacher in a public school setting. That's just fine, but get to know that public school teacher, get to know them and take that personal touch and learn what they're learning as well, because you want to be the biggest influence in their life too. So, and that's what's, going to raise you. And I guess we should have, said, obviously, bring them up into the things you're interested in too. They may like it. They may not like it, but, they're your kid. So they probably will.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably at least appreciate it. But then again, it's maybe dad's he's just a big joker. I don't like the stuff he's in. Be willing to accept that too, because it might happen. Leslie, any experience with children? Any words of wisdom?
Yeah. I would just say, going off what Eric said, really, I would say cherish every single moment. Every moment, once that baby is born, is a priceless moment, no matter how small, how big, significant, or whatever. Just cherish every moment, because one of these days they're gonna get older, and it's not popular to hang out with the dad thing. That's coming, but still, at the end of the day, once that baby comes, like, life will change, but will change in a positive way. You will change, and like what AJ said, there's no book to say you should do it this way or do it this way or that way or whatever. Everything would just fall into place. Like, it will come to you, and there are days you're gonna make mistakes. There are days you're going to succeed. There are days you're going to be angry. There are days you're going to be happy. There are days you're going to be sad. All that comes with raising a child, which is basically is an extension of you. That's just another you, and that's like one of the greatest things in the world that a lot of people take for granted every single day. There are a lot of people that have kids that don't spend time with them, don't talk with them, just treat them just any kind of way, right? But God has blessed you and your wife for you to have a child. Some women can't even conceive. So you already are in a better place than a lot of people out there who would kill to be in your position. But I know you're a great dude. I know you and your wife are absolutely wonderful people. I know you would do fine as parents. Again, y'all gonna make mistakes, but that's just part of the process. Yeah. So just do the best you can, live the best life you can. Be there for that baby. I'm sure you will. And you don't have to worry about support system. We're all gonna be there for you, help you out. Even though we may not be with you physically, we're gonna be there for you every step of the way to help you as much as we can, because that is what family do. And we're proud of you. We're happy for you. God bless you and your family, and we wish you nothing but success. Congratulations, Joe, and your wife. You know what I'm saying? Awesome. So with that being said, that's going to conclude this portion of the Dadzilla part of the conversation. Before we wrap it up, because we got like maybe 20 more minutes, then we're going to be out of here. I got 3 more questions involving 3 more supplemental videos I'm going to do later on this year. And of course, you have not seen the last of these wonderful faces. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they will be back on the supplementals, whatever. But I'm planning on doing 3 supplementals, 3 separate supplementals. One dedicated to celebrating all the collectibles of the 1965 Godzilla, or collectibles for Monster Zero in general, because we know that movie celebrates its 60th anniversary this year. Also, I want to do a stream dedicated to Gamera. Like, again, he turns 60 this year. You know what I'm saying? There's so many, there's so many collectibles, great movies, great moments involving our favorite fire-breathing super turtle. So I want to do a supplemental video for that, as well as oh my God, I don't know how we're going to do it all in one show, but we're going to try. But we're going to celebrate pretty much all of the collectibles, at least most of them, of the collectibles of the 95 Godzilla, the Desu Goji, or the Rebirth Godzilla. AJ, you in the toy business, would you say that the Desu Goji is probably the most collectible version of Godzilla out there? Isn't he like the most, or he's one of the most? Like, how would that work?
Has to be.
Yes.
Has to be.
Yes, it's not even close. Between all the Marmot Desu Gojis and collectible toys of that nature, it's I don't think anything touches Burning Godzilla as a collectible. And am I echoing, by the way? My headset's died. So I'm just gonna mute my mic.
No,
when I'm
you're
not
good.
talking.
No, you're fine. Actually, you're fine.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
fine.
I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, Desu Goji. I mean, I'm sure most of us all have several
one,
iterations in our collection.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, so I would say it's easily number one, if you know, and if you top three at the very least. So
Okay. So with that being said, we're going to showcase one of our favorite Desu Gojis, but we'll say that for last, right? Let's start with actually the 65 Godzilla, or a collectible pertaining to Monster Zero. Eric, go first. What you want to showcase?
So I don't have a ton of 65 because they don't make a lot of stuff for 65, unfortunately. But just recently, we've been talking about this brand and the quality and everything. But I will go with the Dancing Goji. Happy moment indeed. But yeah, this is amazing with their new line, the posing line. And oh man, I'm so happy for this. And it's just a great scene, great figure. The quality is excellent on these Bandais. And I hope they keep going with special moments like this, because this is awesome. So I'll go with this guy.
How about you, AJ? What you got?
can you guys hear me? I
Yes.
all of a sudden
Yes.
lost all sound, but if you guys can hear me, I'll just talk.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So
Yeah, we can hear you.
I have my favorite 65. Abby, wait for your turn. The 25 centimeter X Plus. This is one of my favorite figures of all time. Just from the pose, the sculpt, this is one of the best in my opinion. I don't have it on me. Again, it's in storage. A huge shout out to Brian and Sean at Hop Toys. I don't know if you remember, a couple years ago, they had done a gigantic Exion ship that's probably around like this big.
Yeah.
Glows in the dark. That's one of my favorite figures. And now Abby has one of her favorite figures. Shout out to Top Teal and Mondo. This one sits right next to her bed and provides a little bit of a nightlight. This thing is awesome. If you're unfamiliar, this is Godzilla in the Exion ship. This is the Cherry Blossom glow in the dark. There's a couple other variants. If you have not gotten one and you are into Sofubi of any kind, highly recommend. And this is one of Abby's favorites, right, Abs? Go ahead. What do you think about it? Give your review right now. You're on the hot seat. Wow. Very Don't get shy now. Come on. Oh, don't drop it either. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Good catch. You got nothing?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
That's it. No.
It's okay, Abby. It's
Adrian,
okay.
on to you.
So actually, AJ, I completely agree with you. The 1965 25 centimeter Godzilla, to me, still the best 25 centimeter Godzilla that X Plus has ever made. This thing is perfection from the pose to the details on it. You cannot beat this guy. This guy is absolutely incredible. Nick.
All right. Show to my other camera. Got some happy moment here. The Super Sevens, also with the Laserdisc shout out there, the Invasion of Astro Monsters. So yeah, we've got these still in packaging. I haven't had the chance to do a review on this one. But yeah, I picked that up recently. And then I saw the glow in the dark version actually recently and picked that guy up too. So yeah, so I guess Christine's probably proud of these because the Super 7, right? So, but yeah, they're pretty cool little figures actually. I'm looking forward to getting these out and doing a review on those on the channel at some point soon. Go Leslie.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna fire it up. You got me ready, Eric, with that one.
You have to bring it to. You have to bring it up.
Is that the one I just did? Okay.
Yep, that one, and then it's right there.
Okay, right there. That is the 30 centimeter Billiken model kit, vinyl model kit of the 65 Godzilla. That was built and painted by Burley Vang. You know, you heard his name in the top before. One of my best friends in the fandom. That's actually that's actually one of the first kits he ever made for me. I think it was the first kit. Wow. And this before I really got into really heavy the model kits. This was way back in the day, but it's a solid representation of the 65 Goji. It's not fully perfect. I mean, it is great, don't get me wrong. But Billiken style kits are really made for beginners. Like they're for beginners who want to get started making and building and painting model kits, right? Yeah. They're not complex like, let's say, Monster Maker 28 or Size OK or Goro or Black Dragon Studio type kits. But this is a good place to start. And then again, the sculpts are really, really good. Really, 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 really good. You know, it could be better in certain areas, but other than that, I dig it. I really do dig it. I can't wait for a certain better one to come out from a mutual friend of ours. But we'll talk about that when we cross that bridge.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. But yeah, until I get that one, this one does look great up against other Monster Zero stuff I have in my collection. So, but with that being said, let's go towards the next supplemental video, or at least collectible pickup. That supplemental video I'm gonna talk about later on this year. Let's talk about Gamera. Let's talk about one of our favorite Gamera collectibles. Again, guy turned 60. Gamera Guardian Universe actually turns 30 officially. And there's so many Gamera collectibles out there of himself, of the awesome weird foes that he fought. So with that being said, what is your favorite or one of your favorite Gamera collectibles that you want to showcase now? Eric, go.
Favorite movie of Gamera. Top 3 all-time favorite kaiju movies. But she is the real queen of the monsters. Legion herself. You can't get any better than this. This thing is spectacular in every way, shape, or form. I just love it. Love. This movie is just peak cinema. One of the best kaiju movies all around. I mean, it's awesome. And I'm so glad I got this as the original release of the X Plus 25 centimeter line. But she is Big Chungus. Big Chungus.
Yep.
That's an understatement.
So yeah, AJ?
I wasn't able to bring any of my collectibles up for Gamera on this, but favorite movie, obviously Gamera 2. I think that's still might be the best kaiju movie of all time, for me anyway.
Pretty close, yeah.
But
pretty close.
One of my favorite Gamera collectibles since I was a kid was the Bandai premium format Gamera 3, the gigantic one.
Yeah.
So I still have that. That one's always been one of my favorites. But yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to bring any Gamera toys up to share with anybody. But
I have Gamera toys.
Oh, you have Gamera toys? Why don't you go get a turtle? Go find a turtle.
She's like, okay,
we'll come back to me if we find a turtle.
What about you, A?
Okay.
So, because as Bishop said so far, Gamera 2 is my favorite Gamera movie and one of the best kaiju movies of all time. But my favorite Gamera design is going to be the 1999 Gamera. Of course, this is the X Plus version 2 version of Gamera. This thing is just phenomenal. The pose, everything on here is just perfect. And to me, this is my Gamera. They use this for all 3 films. I wouldn't have been mad. I love this Gamera.
All right, Nick.
Here we go. Got the Defo Reel 1996
okay.
camera. I just love that face. It is so cool. Yeah.
So good.
It's nothing just like it. Yeah. So, yeah, love that. Love the fact that it's this cool scale too. And I need to increase my Gamera collection. Definitely of the Showa Gamera stuff because I don't have enough of that. I've got some Bandai's, little things here and there, but this one, that detail. Love that detail in that little Defo Reel. You got it, Leslie?
Absolutely. It looks awesome. Let's see. For me, let's go back to the stage. Yeah, let's see. Hold on. Let's see where it's at.
That one?
Hold on. Let's see. I got it. That one is the gigantic size vinyl version of the Prime 1 Gamera 1999. Ooh, boy, sweet baby Jesus, let me tell you. Yeah, that one. And it's like sometimes, and I hate to say it, sometimes I forget I even have it because it's just stuck in the corner of the room because I can't put him anywhere else because he's so big. But when I brought him out and did these photographs right here, I was like, oh God, I'm so glad I got you. I really do. Thing is 20-something inches tall. It is heavy, even though it's the vinyl one because they made a vinyl one and a resin one. I think they came out with 3 different versions. There was a vinyl one, there was a resin one that I think came with the light up or whatever. Then there was another one that came with the light up and the base and all these extra accessories like heads and appendages, whatever. But I opted to go for the vinyl one. And again, one of the best collectibles of Gamera that has ever been made, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Monster Attitude, if y'all do a show with Gamera collectibles this year, like y'all gonna have a tough time because Adrian's Gamera from X Plus, that's awesome, right? You got other great, awesome Gamera collectibles out there, but model kits too. But this Prime one, oh yeah, it's like going to church. Yes, sir. It is like going to church. So
me and this Gamera have history, so
and not good history.
No, it's not good history.
It's not good history.
Oh man!
I'm sorry, Eric. When I see you at G-Fest, I'm gonna give you a hug.
Please, because oh man.
But consider how tall you are. I just have to hug you by the waist because you're so damn tall. So All right, so now let's go towards the final collectible, and of course, the 1995 Godzilla, where it's the Death of Goji or the Rebirth Godzilla. An awesome design, even though again it's a variation of the previous suit. It was basically based off the 94 suit. Really, it was a modified 94 suit, but it would go on to become, again, as AJ said, the most collectible version, at least one of the most collectible versions of Godzilla out there ever in terms of marmots and figures and model kits, whatever. Like there's trust me, there's a lot of things we're short in this fandom, like patience and positivity, but trust me, we are not short of Desagojis. I'm just saying. But so with that being said, what is your favorite Desagoji, at least one of your favorites that you want to talk about in this last collectible pick? Eric?
All right. So I'm gonna go with another big boy. I'm going to go with the RMC 40 centimeter light up X Plus burning Godzilla.
Woo!
Yeah, woo is right. This thing is heavy.
The best light up that a burning Godzilla has ever had. The best light up right there.
Dude.
No question. There's no question about that.
Yep. The only thing that's holds this thing back is that size of that cord, and it's not a battery and it's not plug-in. You gotta like hook it into a USB port or something like that. It's really weird. So but yeah, this thing is absolutely killer.
That should have won figure of the year. I'm sorry, I don't care about that -1. That is a better quality figure. That should have won figure of the year.
Yep.
-1, my black behind. I tell you that right now.
Blame the voters. Blame the voters.
Oh yeah, I blame them. They all can eat. They can all eat an iceberg for all I care right now. But hey. All right, AJ. What you got, man?
Gamera.
Okay. You got a turtle. You got Gamera.
What's his?
So-
Oh, come on, man! Come on!
There's still some that aren't in storage, and this will always be one of them. For me, this is more than just a figure to me. I've had this, oh my God, almost 20, at least 25 years now. At the time when my dad and I started collecting, this was one of the most sought after ones. It's got the plate on the foot. I got the card in a box. I remember growing up, one of my best friends, Danny, used to try to hide this on me. Like, he would put it in a closet or in the laundry room as if I wouldn't notice that this thing is missing. We still talk about that stuff to this day. So this figure, to me, Abby, you're getting camera hog over here.
What they're looking for?
So to me, this is one of my Grail collectibles that means so much to me. And honestly, if this is one of the Bondi's best from yesteryear back in the 90s, and still holds up to this day. So highly recommend, if you don't have one of these in your collection, to get this. And like Leslie said, there is definitely no shortage of Burning Godzilla stuff. I mean, I'm not usually I know not the biggest Omega Beast fan, but even their new one looks awesome.
It does.
It really
lie,
does.
it
Like
does.
between their last Shin and now this, because they've really stepped up, and it's got the smoke effects or whatever on the DX. I'm like,
yes, it does. It does. I'm trying not to, Lord Jesus.
Yeah, I'm trying not
to
too, but I gotta say, man, that one's very tempting.
Really cool.
Can Abby show something off real quick? She wants to show off something.
She sure can. She sure can.
Absolutely. She's been a trooper.
Which one are you going for?
The one where the cool.
Oh, that's a great description. The cool one? Okay. To me, they're all cool, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
The one that's in the space.
The pink one? Oh,
I
okay.
know what she's talking about. I know what she's talking about.
Yeah, she's running to go get it. You can, Adrian, let's toss it back up to you. It might take her a couple.
All right. So again, my favorite one isn't here yet. It'll be arriving Tuesday. Even though I know I did speak y'all a couple weeks ago about the Rebirth Godzilla because of some of the photos I saw online. I am really excited to get that. I can't wait to get it in hand. But in the meantime, I did have, of course, our main man Marcellus put a little project together for me with this Rebirth Godzilla.
Okay.
The quote-unquote Rebirth Godzilla, even though, because this, y'all was kind of pissed off when Expo said, "Oh, this is gonna be the Rebirth Godzilla." No, get out of here with that. so I was like, you know what, Marcellus, paint this like Junior. So this is a really special piece for my class because Marcellus did get this custom painted for me, and honestly, I still love what Marcellus did to it. It looks incredible. So as of right now, this is my favorite until my Rebirth finally comes in. The real Rebirth Godzilla.
All right. We've got this kind of strange one. Now, tell me if my audio is lagging or whatever, because...
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Is it good? Yeah. Every once in a while, I hear you guys talk, and it just kind of it's back and forth and things. So, but you got the picture here, right?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this one was actually from a store that's gone out of business now called Hastings, if you guys remember that store.
Yes.
Yeah, they had a Hastings exclusive of this Marmot. And it was while that place was going out of business that they discounted everything. So I have a special memory of this, actually, because we went down to Richmond, Indiana, my oldest daughter and I, to pick this guy up. And I forget how much even we paid for it, but it was a really good deal, actually. But on the way back, we actually had vehicle issues, pulled off on the interstate. My dad had to come out and rescue us because we ended up having to tow that vehicle out. And it was like, well, we're here. Let's look over this figure while we're waiting on, a rescue plan, actually. And it was like, oh, man, this one is so cool. But, yeah, it was just definitely a unique one. And glad I got it to pick it up. But, yeah, there's a lot of these figures out there. Of 95, but this one I always really liked, and I always like that translucent orange that he's got going on there too. So
absolutely,
that is cool. I like that.
All right.
Before I go, I'm gonna kick it back to Abby. Did you get it, babe? Okay, show it. Go for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's technically a burning Godzilla, but I mean, it's got the paint app to be one.
Yeah.
We'll take it because Abby's doing it. We'll take it because Abby's doing it.
Yes.
Yes.
This is the Urban Aztec release from Mondo. This is the first one, and yeah, man, this figure is really cool, and she loves it.
I want to go in my room, but Daddy won't let me.
No, that one goes on my shelf. So. What do you guys think? Should I let her put her in a room or?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. The people.
What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, I don't know. What is the worst that can happen? All right.
Hey, but AJ, I will put it on the tallest dresser you can find.
Absolutely.
She can look at it. She ain't got to touch it, but she can just look at it, and from afar, All right, for me, and let's see, Eric, let's see, hold on, let me kick this up, kick it back down again. All right, hey, matter of fact, hold on, before I get to that, hold on, let me just show, let me do this. Okay, hold on, bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I just got this actually, was it yesterday, I think? But I got my hands on the new Sakai 95. Actually, look at the eyes. The eyes are awesome.
Looks good.
It looks
good.
And Adrian, I'm gonna rip you a new one because I told you don't be falling
Exactly.
Don't be falling for that crap. We all know that when these initial photographs from overseas collectors start posting these photographs, a lot of them are not good. As a matter of fact, they suck. I'm just being honest, and it puts people in a bad headspace. Then you have people like, I ain't trying to say no names, Elliot Sawyer. I ain't trying to say no names, but he did his best to do his best fear mongering. He put the fear of God in you, Adrian, and I told you, don't listen to him. Wait until you get it in your hand. And come to find out, he didn't pre-order it. He wasn't going to get it in the first place. You know what that's like? Would you take the word of Stevie Wonder if he was a movie critic? No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. If Stevie Wonder said, you know what, that Superman movie sucks, I don't like it, would you believe him?
No,
you wouldn't believe him. Okay, but you took the word for Alex Sawyer. Shame on you. I thought I taught you better than that. Come on, man. Don't give into that fear mongering.
I had a moment. Okay, I had a moment.
No, you had 3 or 4 moments. I had to constantly remind him, like, dude, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I told him I'd take it off his hands. It's okay.
Look at that. The eyes are perfect.
Looks great.
The eyes are perfect. And I know for a fact that Adrian, you and Eric have an issue with X Plus for what they did a couple years ago. But technically, the 95 Godzilla is the rebirth Godzilla as we see at the end of the film is basically the burning Godzilla, same design, but with the lights turned off, sporting the regular Heisei colors, which is basically the 94 Godzilla suit. So technically, because it wasn't marketed as the rebirth Godzilla, that's basically what it was. So technically, this is the second rebirth Godzilla. I don't know why you were upset with X Plus over that. It's still the same thing. All they did was, like, for the burning Godzilla, they cut out portions of the 94 and inserted like red and orange lights to give that glowing effect. But once they did rebirth or Junior, they just shut him off, gave him regular Heisei colors, and he's basically either the 94 or the rebirth. And that's why when I got this figure, that's what I'm doing it. Either one. On the right, it goes great with the 3rd centimeter space Godzilla. It goes perfectly with him.
Good Lord.
And Megara, oh my God. Or in Eric's case, you got the Destroyer. This would have been great. Junior getting revenge for his daddy. That's what I'm talking about. Revenge for his daddy. You can have this set up, you know what I'm saying? But the Sakai 95, who looks great by himself, or you can double him as a 94, because it seems like S Plus is allergic to doing a 94 now.
For real.
But
Clearly.
But we got it. Not once, but twice. But trust me, I'm telling you right now, your fears or whatever, courtesy of Elliot Sawyer, because whatever. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. Eric, if you find this thing at G Fest for a good price,
I'm gonna
go after it. In my opinion, I think this is overall for right now. This is the best S Plus release so far this year. Better than the 74 25 centimeter. Better than the Godzilla Evolve 24 with the Shaquille O'Neal body. The only one that comes kind of close to it is the purple Shin, the one that just came out. The purple Shin,
the Black Dragon one. Yeah,
that one. Yeah, but for
Yeah.
me, I'll put it towards this because the daggone sure blows the gigantic 2002 out the water. We ain't gonna have that crappy conversation. I'm just saying, figure of the year so far for X Plus is this guy right here. Trust me, Adrian, you will love it. I'm telling you, you will love it.
Can't wait.
So,
and Alex, we're gonna have some words at G Fest.
I try to tell you, man, he did that fear mongering thing. I'm like, dude, like you're taking the word for somebody who's not getting it. For one, he has no idea what he's talking about. Number three, you taking the word from these crappy overseas photos. Like if Rich Video didn't convince you, this should convince you. You're good. You're gonna be good. So
no, Mitch's video did convince me. I was like, okay, all right, I'm stop tripping now.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. So when you see Alex at G Fest, if he shows up, punch him in the throat for make you have a heart attack for all those 2 weeks, and you know. But with that being said, those are the supplemental videos are coming this year, and again, you can see some of these wonderful faces coming back for the supplemental videos. One dedicated to Gamera, one dedicated to the Desagoji, and one dedicated to the 65 Godzilla or anything pertaining to Monster Zero. And that is pretty much going to do it for this show. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to everybody for being here. I really do appreciate it. Of course, Eric Stolp, Adrian Settle from Monster with Attitude. Thank you so much. Nick Adam Poland for the Monster Report. And of course, the returning, the awesome AJ Russo from Kaiju Live. You've been gone about a minute, but I'm so glad that you were able to come back and do this show. And I'm glad that we got news basically that you're bringing Kaiju Live back. It's going to be wonderful to see you come back into the fold and start streaming again and all that good stuff. So I want to thank y'all so much for being here. Real do appreciate it. Now, before we really get up out of here, if you got anything you want to plug on your respective platforms, go for it. Eric, go.
I'll just do this real quick. Obviously, MWA Monsters with Attitude. Check us out on all of our platforms. We do have a link tree. So we are on every single social media. Just check us out there. But if you are into figure reviews and that of that nature, I do my own personal channel, Bearded Kaiju's Unboxing Reviews. I just hit my 1,000 subscribers, so I'm doing a giveaway here. I'm giving away a free X Plus Godzilla Cybot Rick Edition. So that is coming up here in the next couple of weeks, just kind of figuring out when I want to do it. But yeah, I think it's going to be a live show. Leslie kind of poked me into that kind of direction, but I haven't done a live show in a very long time, honestly. And I think I'm going to do one and give away a free X Plus for hitting the 1,000 subscribers. So thank you all. And yeah, that's it for me.
Congrats, dude. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Thank you.
You deserve it. And I'm glad you're doing a bribery. I mean, giveaway. I'm sorry.
Wow. That's messed up.
All right, AJ, let us know, when is it going down? When is Kaiju Live coming back? What you got cooking?
Don't have an official. I'm really trying to get it for next month. Bringing the auction show back in full force. Although Dad is still doing it mostly every Sunday, keeping it going solo. Yeah. But we'll be back together again real soon. Right now at KaijuLive.shop, we got 25% off a Dadzilla sale on everything in stock. And if you do purchase something, you will get a referral, 15% off to share with a friend, so you can get even more off. So some people have figured that out now, and I've seen a lot of people using the discount, which is called obviously a happy moment. So yeah, that's going to be running until Father's Day. So and it's been going great. I actually got a ton of happy moments to pack up, so excited about that.
Awesome.
The auction
Mhm.
show, yeah, well, it's going to be coming back. I think I'm try to figure out how to. I really do like Whatnot's platform. I think that works really well.
Yeah.
But and you can simultaneously stream to YouTube, so I might try to merge that in some kind of way. Again, got to play with it, but more importantly, I got to get the room set up. As for more Kaiju Live stuff, have some things in the works that I can't talk about just yet, but I'm really excited. I think some people might have seen the UGAC picture. So if you don't know, you're gonna find out soon. So I'm excited about that, and Dad and I are we'll be back soon.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah. How about
Nick, what do you
A-Train?
got, man?
What you got,
Oh, wait, I'm
A-Train?
sorry, Adrian.
So, Eric already kind of plugged NWA, but of course, if you want to get your Super 7 collectible needs, go to www.super7.com/monsters-with-attitude-2024 to get 10% off of your purchase there. And of course, I am still running my YouTube channel at Godzilla Chain 1090. I've been slacking. I'm working on a review right now that I need to get posted. But we also need to have a box day on NWA so I can start posting my reviews, Eric. So I ain't got nothing to open.
I got nothing, man.
So I'll definitely be putting some more content on there soon. I'm looking at, I think, 3-4 figures with the rebirth coming in on Tuesday. So yeah, I'll be posting a lot more there. And then of course, hopefully, if Samson didn't abandon us, we'll be streaming on Twitch tonight also at Monsters with Attitude 2024. But we have to harass Samson as soon as we're done here.
Hey, but aren't y'all doing Frankenstein?
All right, shout out.
Hold on. Aren't y'all doing Frankenstein Conquers the World in a couple weeks?
Yes, on the 22nd, I believe that's Saturday. Yeah,
Okay.
22nd.
Okay. Sorry, Nick, go for it, bud.
Okay. It's all good. No problem. And yeah, shout out to all of the great Kaiju content creators here. You guys are awesome, and I'm just on cloud nine forever, being a part, collaborating with you guys, and anything that we have going here. Because your audience to my audience to your audience. I think that's great to collab like this and talk about what we love. So this is fantastic, and I'm just always up for being a guest again, and I'm always willing to have you guys as a guest on my show. And hopefully my internet connection's good enough, because it seems like it's always flaky out here in the sticks of Indiana. So do the best I can, and maybe one day I'll get that Starlink beautiful internet that I have out here. But, beggars can't be choosers living out here in, the middle of nowhere. But appreciate all the love and support that everyone has given the Monster Report. We are less than 1,500 subscribers away from that silver plaque. So 100,000.
Wow.
It is so close.
Incredible.
So close.
That's
so
amazing.
yeah, a lot of great content coming up, a lot of skits that we have for our box days. My kids are always a part of that. So and the dad jokes abound with those skits. So I appreciate that people have given me, and maybe even humoring me a little. And it's like, yeah, that was cool. That was fun. Get to the box day. Get to the review. We want to see the figure. So, I haven't got any bad feedback like that yet. So, I appreciate any feedback and appreciate any, advice or whatever that we've got. So, yeah, I've got some cool stuff coming up. A controversial topic of Zilla 98 figure that I've got in the works, actually. So, watch that. Beat up on it if you'd like, but it was actually a pretty cool figure. That'll be coming up. Plenty of monster trailer remakes coming up, and reviews, and some video essays. I, like AJ, have had some health issues myself, so not in the exact same way. I'm dealing with a lot of rheumatoid arthritis. I also have lupus, so that has been kind of getting me down from producing content. It's my body attacking itself. Suddenly when I hit 40, everything started falling apart. So I'm doing the best I can, taking care of health, taking care of the family first, and as often as I can, producing some content. But Yeah, but I also have great news, and I'll announce it here for the first time. Was going to announce it on my channel, but yeah, I've been unemployed since October of 2024, and my family has been so supportive of me. My wife went back to work. I became Mr. Mom in the house, so I was doing the homeschool teaching, and it's because my wife is so well organized that I was able to just pick that up and run with it. And been an experience, but I was ready to go back to work as soon as someone called, and it was the worst time economically for our country. It seemed like no one was calling. I had applied probably for 1,000 different places, and I'm just like ready to work here, guys, and been turned down and ghosted by more employers than I know. I wish I had $1 for each one, but yeah, finally this week I was hired as a digital content creator for a health network.
Nice, very nice.
Here in 2 weeks, and really excited to get started, hitting the ground running, doing what I already do, which is content creation, not kaiju content creation. They'll humor me with my geeky toy collecting and things like that going on that I've got. But, already good group of people to work with, and I'm excited to get started with them, and it's going to be consistent work, and and it's in an industry that's helping people, which I really appreciate.
Yep.
So
Amen.
look forward to getting into that and getting back to some collecting as well. So again, thank you all, gentlemen, and especially Leslie for throwing out the invite for all of us dads to share our experiences, share just where we are in life with things, and just from our perspective as dads and collectors and kaiju fans. So again, shout out to you, Leslie. Take it away.
Well, congratulations on your new position. That is awesome. I'm happy for you and your family. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. You know what I'm saying? So again, being employed, AJ coming back, like I feel so many positive vibes right now. You know what I'm saying? Like this is good. This is something that we should always feel in this fan, especially with us being close-knit friends with each other, so it's nice to see that. As far as like Collect All Monsters, our next monthly episode is next weekend, same bat time, same bat channel. I'm not going to be on that one because Sandra is doing something for me for Father's Day weekend that weekend, so I will not be a part of that show. Actually, artist extraordinaire that's helped me out with a few kits. I'm sure will help you out with a few kits at some point too. Greg Betters, he's actually taking my place. So they're going to talk about the fallout from Kaiju Brooklyn because John Ruffin was there. And also what happened at Monster Palooza and a few other things, and also doing a giveaway of a glow-in-the-dark Baragon. So please stay tuned for that. I know David right now is on the Safubi sit-down shows. So on YouTube, so after you're done here, please go over there and check him out. Talking with the Safubi sit-down folks. Whatever. I'm gonna try and make next month's show on Collect All Monsters, but that's I think the same weekend as G Fest. So that's going to be kind of funky for me. But I have popped in here and there on G Fest weekends, here and there. Hasn't been long, but I probably won't be here for a full official show until maybe August. But I will try and show my face on Collect All Monsters next month and give you like the rundown of what was done at G Fest and how many people didn't have deodorant, the same usual stuff that so looking forward to that. Again, AJ, I got you on Little Godzilla and other stuff. I'm driving this year, so if you need a little bit of stuff more, I'm not, I won't have a whole bunch of space. I'm bringing some kits back with me, but if you need a couple other things besides Little Godzilla, just talk with me and I'll hook you up. No problem. So again, thank you to Eric. Thank you to AJ. Thank you to Marcellus. Thank you to Adrian. And thank you to Nick. I'm going to bring him back right fast. Hold on. Thank you so much for being here. And again, from my heart to yours, I want to say happy Father's Day. All of y'all are awesome, wonderful people, awesome, wonderful dads. Your kids and your wives are lucky to have you in their lives. So if they don't say it, I'm going to say it. So again, happy Father's Day to you awesome Dadzillas and everybody out there in the chat who is a dad in our family. And you are awesome. And we honor and salute you and honor us Father's Day coming up next weekend. So in the meantime, please check out the Monster Report with Nick Adam Poling, Monster Attitude with Adrian and Eric. Oh, congratulations to Joe for your new baby coming real soon. And of course, Kaiju Live is coming back again. Welcome back, AJ. It's so cool, man. It's so cool to have you back.
Thank you guys so much.
And thank you for Abby for being here, showing your beautiful angelic face. And again, please subscribe to Collect All Monsters, and we will keep you entertained for the foreseeable future.
Say goodbye.
Okay.
Addie's here.
Hold on, guys. One second. Come here, Addie. We got
the
little
little one. Hey.
Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Hey, sweetie.
Say hi.
Oh, look at that. You know what?
Bye.
That final shot right there is how we're going to close it out. So thank everybody, ladies and gentlemen, for being here.
Absolutely.
So again, thank you so much, and happy Father's Day to everybody. And until next time, our planet may be doomed, our earth devastated, the monsters are in revolt, and civilization is in chaos. We must unite, and say it with me, and collect all monsters. Oh, and embrace the attitude.
Let's go.
All right. Have a good night.